Call this meeting to order.
Roll call. Lita?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes.
Chad? Yes. Michelle?
Yes. Approval of August meeting minutes. Kind of,
August meeting minutes are on the stack right here if you don't have them.
if you don't have one,
We have one, and that's what I got.
have we got them? It's kind of been a while, but
They're elusive.
rack your brains and we'll see what we can do.
Okay.
That's it? Two?
Here, I'm gonna take it, you can have this right there. It's all good, it's all good.
We're presently on looking at the August minute.
It's just
It's been a while.
Forgot about Fred Newman's thing Monday night, so. And his memory is there, and he'll forget about things on Wednesday.
This is interesting. Michelle, we can make a copy of it? Not that I can. Vote or
We might see something. It kind of seems like it pretty much just covers right along the meeting.
I move that we approve August meeting minutes.
Second.
Roll call. Lita?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes.
Chad? Yes. Greg? Yes. Michelle?
Yes. Approval of January meeting minutes.
So what ended up being done with extra money?
It's in a CD, so now instead of having 200,000 in a CD, we have 400,000 in a CD. Two 200,000, well, two 200,000, but 400,000 in a CD.
And how much is it that we need in reserve?
Well, when we originally started, I thought it was 200,000 because that's what we put back. But he told us last meeting that we have to have 6 months worth, 50% of the budget.
Okay.
Is what they like us to have.
Then I move that we approve the January minutes.
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Lita?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Troy?
Yes.
Chad?
Yes.
Greg? Yes. Michelle?
Yes. Next is a discussion action on finance statement for January. I guess Courtney or Mr. Dunham, is there anything that you know that's we need to know for sure on this, or that stands out that?
To my knowledge, there's nothing out of the ordinary on this, in the financial statements that you presented.
I got a question on the capital outlay, the Alva concrete, the sand for the soccer field. Was that the extra sand or was that the original sand? Cause we had to have sand, there's paying for sand for the softball field.
That was probably all together. which
All
was
together?
The original
And the added, did the college ever do anything with what?
Not to us, no.
No replacement.
Right.
They didn't replace what they used for the fields? Okay. I will check on that.
I make a motion to approve the financials for January.
Rachel made a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
Troy seconded it.
Roll call, Lita,
Yes.
Rachel,
Yes.
Troy,
Yes.
Chad. Yes. Greg. Yes. Michelle.
Yes. Okay, the next is discussion and action on Northwest Oklahoma State University for committee contract for next year. I didn't know if the same people want to serve on that committee that served on it last year. That's the main reason I put it on here, because we need to start talking about, that was Troy and Greg, start talking about next year's contract. Even though we haven't finished up last year's, because I'd like to have all that in place in order by the end of our budget of the year, this year. So I'll be getting with you. So at that point, Greg and Troy and I will be on that committee. Next is discussion action of policy and procedures, adult sports and rules. I kind of put that on there because I think we need to probably review that with some things that have happened in the last year. Make sure we have all our wording correct in that. Also, I think in there we should have had the new, what's it called, Zumba, is that right? Class. We need to make sure that, however we're gonna do that, that's put in there. So I think on that committee before was Lita, Rachel, and then Courtney. You work with Courtney, can you all still do that?
Well,
Okay.
like Joe Don and I were talking, I'm gonna go through the sports rules and the policies and procedures and kind of highlight things that are the same on both, and then things that are different that probably just need to be added just and have one big policy instead of having policies and procedures and adult sports.
Or either we need to,
So-
one way to add that, which would be have an appendix that says Appendix A is the basketball rules, Appendix B, and they are attached to that. I mean, I don't know which way would be the best, but you could just keep your rules, but make sure they're in. And
Well, because
still-
there are special rules for each sport. I mean,
And then if you had an see appendix, I don't know what,
but as
that
far as
might be.
like, well, I mean, kind of like with softball, I mean, you go jump on the fence, you know, you're thrown out for the rest of the year. I mean, it's, or a 2-game suspension. I'm not sure what it is, but, you know, you can't really put that in all the rules saying if you jump a fence. I mean, because it doesn't refer to basketball. Just different things like that that I think we will have to have separate sport rules, but I think we could, there's some things in the sport rules that can be just in the general and cover everything.
Right, but I still think that those should be attached as appendix so that, you know, when we see the policies and procedures, that
Agreed.
everybody
Right.
knows
It all
that
needs to be in
those,
the same
those
Right.
rules are there.
place,
Right.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Michelle, who's on the
It's Rachel and Lita, and then Courtney. And on that other committee, really Courtney sits in on that other committee too, but as for board members, it's Greg and Troy and I. And as for board members, it's Rachel and Lita. Okay, the next one is discussion action on strategic plan for ARC. Mr. Dunham has got with me, well, he did ask me to get some dates to him. I text everybody. I have those list of dates. I'm gonna give them to him after the meeting because he wants to contact some of the places that we are gonna, and this is strategic plan for semi-master plan to get, so we can have those companies come in and talk to us. And he's asked and requested some dates, so that's where we're at on that. So after this meeting, I'll give him the dates that I came up with and see if we can go from there. Okay, so that's basically why I have that on there, just to kind of bring you up to date where we're at with the strategic plan. Since it keeps coming out. And then, so that's number 8. So there's really no action, just discussion. Director's reports number 9.
Really, the only thing I have to report at this time is we just finished up soccer signups, and our numbers are up tremendously. From the fall, we are up 83 kids. Wow. So we have 83 more kids this spring than we do in the fall. So that's great. We have 256 total kids playing soccer. So that's a lot of kids. Splitting up the teams and getting the schedule.
Are
So
those just Alva kids, or? Does that include
we have
Cherokee
some
and
Winoka. No, not, we don't get any Cherokee teams. We get Winoka teams. We've got like a Winoka team in each age division. And then the rest of them are mainly Alva kids. So it's pretty good. Those games will start the week after spring break, so around March 23rd. I'm about to wrap up basketball, which I'm ready.
I'll give you a few free weekends after that?
Yes,
A
a
few.
few.
Until you get to baseball, softball season. Mr. Dunham, do you have anything you need to report to us?
Not at this time, no.
Okay. Is there any new business that wasn't put on the agenda that someone came up with after I put out the agenda?
I was asked last night if we'd consider putting in a frisbee golf, a 9-hole frisbee golf out here.
I have looked into that before.
The-
Financially, it's very feasible.
Yeah.
Very, and we have the space to do it.
I heard the guy that asked me was telling me that there's one in Enid that's going over really well, and they're having tournaments and all sorts of stuff over the weekends.
I would like to, and I'll look into it a little bit more, but I'd like to get somebody that could design the course.
There's
You
a
know,
guy in Enid that can.
There
He
is a guy.
designed that course because it's on our campus.
Oh,
It's on
okay.
the Northwestern campus.
Do you happen to
I
know
can
where we
get the
can get the
information.
name?
Yeah.
And then I can give them a call, because I have had people request that before, and I have started looking into it, but it's, financially, it's easy to do, because it's very low maintenance.
No, yeah, I think we
So-
need to kind of, with that strategic plan, decide where we're gonna put that, so it's not, we don't go put it in some place and then later think, oh, God. I mean, because I think it's not just a one
Right,
little
it would
area.
probably have to go like from from the Votech Road, even like all the way around. And we, staying off our softball and our soccer fields, we have a lot of space.
Right.
So yeah, if you can give me that name,
I will.
I'll give you a
find
call
out.
and see what we can do.
Thank you for bringing that to us, Chad. Remarks and inquiries by board members? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved?
Second? Thank you all for coming.